Okay, so welcome to lecture number 14 of STAT 761. We're going to do an exercise session today. We will be going through questions in chapter 10 of John Hull and questions in chapter 11 of John Hull, and also some questions at the end of chapter 2 of Stephen Shreve's book, which we covered in the last 3 lectures. So without further ado, let me start by sharing the screen. Give me 1 second. So we begin with the problems in chapter 10. So here we are. So mechanics of options markets. And the first problem says an investor buys a European put on a share for $3. The stock price is $42 and the strike price is $40. Under what circumstances does the investor make a profit? Under what circumstances will the option be exercised? Draw a diagram showing the variation of the investor's profit with the stock price at the maturity of the option. The investor will clearly make a profit if the price of the stock on the expiration date is less than $37, which is 40 minus 3. Okay. In these circumstances, the gain from exercising the option is greater than $3. The option will be exercised if the stock price is less than $40 at the maturity of the option. The variation of the investor's profit is seen in this figure, as we can see. Okay, so this is a relatively simple question. Another question like this: an investor sells a European call on a share for $4. The stock price is $47 and the strike price is $50. Under what circumstances does the investor make a profit? And under what circumstances will the option be exercised? Draw a diagram showing the variation of the investor's profit with the stock price at the maturity of the option. The investor makes a profit if the price of the stock is below $54 on the expiration date. If the stock price is below $50, the option will not be exercised, and the investor makes a profit of $4. If the stock price is between $50 and $54, the option is exercised, and the investor makes a profit between $0 and $4. The variation of the investor's profit with the stock price is as shown in this figure. As you can see, the profit is 0 up until this point, and then it goes down linearly. Okay. An investor sells a European call option with strike price of K and maturity T, and buys a put with the same strike price and maturity. Describe the investor's position. The payoff to the investor is minus the max of ST minus K and 0, and the max of K minus T and 0, which is actually equal to K minus ST in all circumstances. The investor's position is the same as a short position in a forward contract with delivery price K. Explain why margin accounts are required when clients write options, but not when they buy options. When an investor buys an option, cash must be paid upfront. There is no possibility of future liabilities and therefore no need for a margin account. When an investor sells an option, there are potential future liabilities. To protect against the risk of a default, margins are required. Problem 10.5, a stock option is on a February, May, August, and November cycle. What options trade on April 1st? And how about May 30th? On April 1st, options trade with expiration months of April, May, August, and November. On May 30th, options trade with expirations of June, July, August, and November. A company declares a 2-for-1 stock split. Explain how the terms change for a call option with a strike price of $60. The strike price is reduced to $30, and the option gives the holder the right to purchase twice as many shares. So the next problem, employee stock options issued by a company are different from regular exchange-traded call options on the company stock because they can affect the capital structure of the company. Explain this statement. The exercise of employee stock options usually leads to new shares being issued by the company and sold to the employee. This changes the amount of equity in the capital structure. When a regular exchange-traded option is exercised, no new shares are issued and the company's capital structure is not affected. A corporate treasurer is designing a hedging program involving foreign currency options. What are the pros and cons of using A, the NASDAQ OMX, and B, the over-the-counter market for trading? The NASDAQ OMX offers options with standard strike prices and times to maturity. Options in the over-the-counter market have the advantage that they can be tailored to meet the precise needs of the treasurer. Their disadvantage is that they expose the treasurer to some credit risk. Exchanges organize the trading so that there is virtually no credit risk. Suppose that the European call option to buy a share for $100 costs $5 and is held until maturity. Under what circumstances will the holder of the option make a profit? Under what circumstances will the option be exercised? Draw a diagram illustrating how the profit from a long position in the option depends on the stock price at maturity of the option. Ignoring the time value of money, the holder of the option will make a profit if the stock price at maturity of the option is greater than $105. This is because the payoff to the holder of the option in these circumstances is greater than the $5 paid for the option. The option will be exercised if the stock price at maturity is greater than $100. Note that if the stock price is between $100 and $105, the option is exercised, but the holder of the option takes a loss overall. The profit from a long position is seen in this figure. It's -5 up until 100, and then it goes up linearly, as we can see. And the point at which it intersects the x-axis at 0 is 105. So suppose that a European put option to sell a share for $60 costs $8 and is held until maturity. Under what circumstances will the seller of the option, the party with the short position, make a profit? Under what circumstances will the option be exercised? Draw a diagram illustrating how the profit from a short position in the option depends on the stock price at maturity of the option. Ignoring the time value of money, the seller of the option will make a profit if the stock price at maturity is greater than $52. This is because the cost to the seller of the option is in these circumstances less than the price received for the option. The option will be exercised if the stock price at maturity is less than $60. Note that if the stock price is between $52 and $60, the seller of the option makes a profit even though the option is exercised. The profit from the short position is as shown in figure 10.4, which we see over here. As you can see, it goes up linearly up until 60, and at 60, it's at $7. I'm sorry, at $8. I apologize. Describe the terminal value of the following portfolio: a newly entered into long forward contract on an asset and a long position in a European put option on the asset with the same maturity as the forward contract, and the strike price that is equal to the forward price of the asset at the time the portfolio is set up. Show that the European put option has the same value as a European call option with the same strike price and maturity. The terminal value of the long forward contract is ST minus F0, where ST is the price of the asset at maturity and F0 is the forward price of the asset at the time the portfolio is set up. The delivery price in the forward contract is also F0. The terminal value of the put option is the maximum of F0 minus ST and 0. The terminal value of the portfolio is therefore the sum of these two. So ST minus F0 plus the max of F0 minus ST, which gives us the max of 0 and ST minus F0, which is the same as the terminal value of the European call option with the same maturity as the forward contract and an exercise price equal to F0. This result is illustrated in this graph, as we can see. This is the put option price. This is the forward, the profit from the put option. This is the profit from the forward contract. And if you sum these two, you obtain a hockey stick in the same way you get for a call option. And so this is the outcome is a call option. Is the payoff of the call option. So we have shown that the forward contract plus the put is worth the same as a call with the same strike price and time to maturity as the put. The forward contract is worth 0 at the time the portfolio is set up. It follows that the put is worth the same as the call at the time the portfolio is set up. A trader buys a call option with a strike price of $45 and a put option with a strike price of $40. Both options have the same maturity. The call costs $3 and the put costs $4. Draw a diagram showing the variation of the trader's profit with the asset price. So figure S10 actually shows the variation of the trader's position with the asset price. So we have basically a put and the call. They are strike at different prices, as you can see. This one is at 45, this one is at 40. And so the sum of these two makes this, payoff, as you can see. When the asset price, so we can divide the alternative asset prices into 3 ranges. When the asset price is less than $40, the put option provides a payoff of 40 minus ST, and the call option provides no payoff. The options cost $7, so the total profit is 33 minus ST. When the asset price is between $40 and $45, neither option provides a payoff. There is a net loss of $7. When the asset price is greater than $45, the call option provides a payoff of ST minus 45, and the put option provides no payoff. Taking into account the $7 cost of the options, right? The total profit is ST minus 52. The trader makes a profit ignoring the time value of money if the stock price is less than 33 or greater than 52. This is known as a strangle, okay? So this is how you find basically the combination. So if someone, so here you had a long on a call with a strike of 45, you had a put with a strike of $40 and with the same maturity. The call costed $3, the put costed $4, and then this is how you made the strangle, which is this, this payoff over here. Explain why an American option is always worth at least as much as a European option on the same asset with the same strike price and exercise date. That's easy. The holder of an American option has all the same rights as the holder of a European option and more. It must therefore be worth at least as much. If it were not, an arbitrager could short the European option and take a long position in the American option. Explain why an American option is always worth at least as much as its intrinsic value. The holder of an American option has the right to exercise it immediately. The American option must therefore be worth at least as much as its intrinsic value. If it were not, an arbitrager could lock in a sure profit by buying the option and exercising it immediately. Explain carefully the difference between writing a put option and buying a call option. Writing a put option gives a payoff of the minimum of ST minus K, because it's the maximum of K minus the maximum of K minus ST and 0, basically. Buying a call gives a payoff of the maximum of ST minus K. In both cases, the potential payoff is ST minus K. The difference is that for a written put, the counterparty chooses whether you get the payoff and will allow you to get it only when it is negative to you. For a long call, you decide whether you get the payoff and you choose to get it when it is positive to you. So the treasurer of a corporation is trying to choose between options and forward contracts to hedge the corporation's foreign exchange risk. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of each. Forward contracts lock in the exchange rate that will apply to a particular transaction in the future. Options provide insurance that the exchange rate will not be worse than some level. The advantage of a forward contract is that uncertainty is eliminated as far as possible. The disadvantage is that the outcome with hedging can be significantly worse than the outcome with no hedging. This disadvantage is not as marked with options. However, unlike forward contracts, options involve an upfront cost. So I stop sharing. I am done with the first part